what I did was we both ordered a pizza from some very famous cafe here from that tip money, and we were so disappointed. I was like, oh no, I can't spend my money like this. We bought cheese and ingredients,
Mhm.
and we were like, we'll make our own pizza. We have our cafe, we are never going out now. It was so great that I made that pizza for I think 2 years for every now and then for us. There were so many people always crossing and smelling the pizza and then like, okay, let's do it. Can you please sell it? I'm like, no, I'm not selling. It's just for us. But until one day, a friend of mine who came from Slovakia, so I made her taste my pizza without telling me. She made a poster and put it everywhere in Dharamkot that we are going to have a pizza day. And I was like, what are you doing?
Offspin Media Friends proudly presents A Day in Your Life by Anant Krishnan, an Offspin original.
Hi, my name is Anant, and welcome to the 8th episode of the series A Day in Your Life. Today we have with us a baker, Anukriti Dutt, who runs a bakery in Dharamkot. Let's speak to her and find out about a day in her life. Okay, hi Anukriti, how are you?
I am good, Anand. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you for asking.
Same.
Could you tell me a little about yourself, where you were born and raised, something like that?
Yes, so I'm Anukriti Dutt now. I was born in Delhi, raised in Delhi, been all my life there only. My first move out of Delhi, actually out of home, is in Dharamkot, where I am right now.
Okay,
And I have done my graduation and schooling, graduation in Delhi. My graduation was from Delhi University.
okay.
And then after that, I pursued some courses that I liked as hobby and did a job also.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think life had different plans for me.
Yeah.
So I'm here.
Cool. So, could you tell me where are you currently and what is your profession?
Currently, I am in Upper Dharamkot. It's a small village in an area called McLaurgans, near
Mm-hmm.
McLaurgans. It's in
Mm-hmm.
Dharamshala, Himachal Pradesh. And I am now a professional baker. I started as a hobby baker. So I came here with my brother who was already coming to set up his business and for some like change in life and some like I was at a low point of my life at that time. So
Okay.
I came here to help him around, just get a breather and then go back. My brother had a lot of faith in me and he could see things that I didn't.
Okay.
So he pushed me to do some things, and I was, anyways, very fond of baking and cooking.
Mm-hmm.
And I never got that exposure at home. Like I did, my family always loved what I cooked or baked, but then they are still old school Indian people, so they like their roti, sabji, Indian desserts, gulab jamun, and all.
Yeah.
But then I was very much into Western baking and cooking.
Mm-hmm.
So here I got that exposure. There were tons of people around to feed. I love feeding, is what I love other than baking or cooking. So I started baking here, working at the cafe that my brother was going to start.
Mm-hmm.
And slowly, like a door got open for me, and it was really, really beautiful how I found that I could stand in a kitchen no matter what.
Hmm.
Like literally no matter what. If I was tired, in a bad mood, in a very good mood, from 4 or 3 a.m. in the morning till 10, 12, 1, 2, I never minded being in the kitchen.
Okay.
I loved it there. So I learned a lot of Indian cooking in the cafe.
Hmm.
And on the other side, I was also baking and trying out my things that I wanted to do.
Hmm.
So I got good response from people, good feedbacks. I always kept my ears open to feedbacks. That is how I think I am where I am today.
Hmm.
After that, I was there for a year. Then we needed some more space in the kitchen, which we didn't have at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So my brother and me found this small space in the corner, which is a very great spot, and we started our bakery here. My bakery is called the Birdhouse Cakery. It's been 5 years now that I've been running it. I started it in 2018. May.
Awesome.
And yeah, I've been learning how to not just be a baker, but a businesswoman also. So I'm learning the business. I am into that and I'm going forward with it.
Awesome. So the past 4 5 years seem to have really taken you out of your shell. I've also been really fortunate to visit Dharamkot. I've never really stepped out during the pandemic. And March 2022, I happened to visit Dharamkot, which is a really beautiful place. And I'm really happy that I found the Birdhouse Cakery and I could sample your amazing pizzas.
I am super glad that I found you because, like, guests like you are actually because of whom I am here. Like, I love what I do because, you know, it's you guys who express your heart out to me, even if it is right, wrong, bad, but it's honest and it's there on your face. And the
Yeah.
love that you guys show that keeps me going on for whatever I could possibly do in my life.
So, Anukriti, tell me more. What is your day like usually from the time you wake up, until the day ends?
Okay, I have a long day usually. First of all, I live with my husband and I have three dogs.
Wow.
There's a lot on the plate already with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I wake up around 6.
Mm-hmm.
I like waking up early, like before everyone does,
Mm-hmm.
so that I can just get the quietness before all the rush that is going to come.
Yeah.
And that 1 hour is literally priceless for me. Like that quiet, that just birds chirping around, the sun is slowly going to rise, but the light out there.
Yeah.
So I wake up, do my daily errands, get a like nice cup of coffee, and then I do my workout for 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
Then I walk my boys around. We go for a long walk with my dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, in my head, I have a lot of lists going on
Yeah.
about how do we go about the day to day, what all we do we need to bake, is there any order. I'm a person who just constantly think of what are supposed to be done, what things are supposed to be done in a day.
Hmm.
So I have a habit of writing them down, either on a paper, like I have a diary with me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, now I have a magnet on my refrigerator and there is a to-do list for my team. I have a team at the bakery now.
Mm-hmm.
Initial 3 years I worked alone with one guest, one help.
Okay.
But now I have a team of 4 great people
Mm-hmm.
who are like really into baking the way I see anyone working with me. I think they are the reason that I'm growing.
Awesome.
And today I'm able to like say, talk and even breathe around. Say.
Yeah.
So I give them all the work for the day. Then it's not just like they bake in the kitchen, and like when I'm there, we are like always, doing things together.
Mm-hmm.
Our cafe starts at 10 o'clock. Before that, like we make sure everyone, like my team and everyone, have breakfast. We are ready. The bread, they take longer, so we start that process also early in the morning so that it doesn't go till late night, which in winters it does.
Mm-hmm.
Like we do end up doing the breads around 2 3 a.m.
Okay. Is it because of the fermentation process?
Yeah, it's so cold here that the temperature outside is lower than my refrigerator.
Oh man.
So we have so we have to wait it out till like minimum 1 or 2 in the night.
Okay.
We do put heaters and everything. We don't have proofers at the moment.
Okay.
There's a lot of baking, cooking. Then around 10 the cafe starts. There's like really like it's busy when people come in. We have the orders going on.
Yeah.
We do take a break at 2 o'clock from the cafe. 2 to 4 is a lunch break.
Okay.
But in that 2 to 4, sometimes we do get the time to actually eat on time and then take a nap, maybe for half an hour. Not me, but my team. But otherwise, we have other work that we can't do when the orders are running.
Right.
We do that in the middle. And then by 8 o'clock, we start wrapping up. But mostly it is around 10 o'clock that we wrap the kitchen.
Okay.
Most of our day is in the kitchen only, just running around, baking things, cooking, or planning for the next days. And by 10 o'clock, getting the work done, wrapped up, and coming to the room, saying goodnight to the boys, and sleeping off.
Yeah, I mean, what inspired you to have the 2 to 4 p.m. off?
First 2 years, when I started the cafe,
Mm-hmm.
it was me alone. So I used to actually start the cafe at 8:30 in the morning.
Okay,
Like I used to take customers in at 8:30 because there are so many people for their morning coffees and tea, and people like having breakfast early, right?
correct.
So I used to do that. Then I would go on like as long as my body would.
Mm-hmm.
I would go on all day and same time like dishes or taking the order, doing the billing, also baking. I did not have any break.
Yeah,
So I used to also run the cafe till I think 9:30.
at night.
Yeah, which is like quite late for the village side, but then in season time there are guests and people around. So initially it is new, so you want to go on.
Yeah,
But then I realized I do reach my burnout stages very like quickly in a month or month's time or a maximum 1.5 month time. I would just burn out so much that I would shut off everything and run away from here. Like the thing that I love the most, I run away from it. And then after doing, I would literally cry and run that I can't do it anymore. Like I really like meeting people, giving them that genuine smile that comes from inside.
yeah,
Like after doing it for a while, I realized you can't do it all the time. Then it would all become fake, and I did not. I never could do fake it. So I
got
would
it.
just shut and like go away and just get some energy back, be in the forest more, be around, like either hike up, just go away from my cafe. But then my cafe is at a place where you have to climb a lot of stairs.
Yeah,
Okay, we did good. There were so many. There's like word of mouth was great for us, and there were so many people who came specially for us, and we were short. It
yeah,
would actually make them angry and sad, and sometimes I would come across them who were coming to me
yeah,
because I said that I am good. Come, and now I'm not there. I'm frustrated. Why is this happening? So then I sat, I thought about it that we should have some timings. Then I can proudly tell them that, okay, this time I don't work, and the other times I will be there.
yeah,
So that is how we got the timings from 10 to 2, and I would take a small break for myself,
yeah,
2 to 4, and then we would just run the cafe again for the next 4 hours. And it's not that the cafe is on for 8 hours a day only, which is very less, but then we are a very small kitchen.
yeah.
And I used to do everything myself, like from my chocolate mocha sauce to ice cream. You will like everything is cooked here. We don't like, we prefer to cook as much as we can ourselves and then sell that.
Mm-hmm.
For the first 3 years, I never sold anything savory also.
Oh,
I was all sweet, man.
okay.
All sweet.
Oh
Like
man.
there were so many people always asking about like, you can have something savory. So I was trying out breads at that time, but they were not coming out that good.
Hmm.
So I did not sell them ever. I was like, no, I can't sell it, so I won't sell it at all.
Hmm.
I would just do what I think is the best that I can serve, and I give them that. So for that, I needed my energy with it.
I really appreciate the 2 to 4 p.m. break. In all honesty, I think, it's fair because everyone needs rest.
Yeah, that is what I understood. The timings around me, like the people were not coming that much also at that time, and I would actually prefer taking a short break, and maybe that break I tried to take for resting out, but then I would do more work because I would have extra 2 hours in my hand.
Yeah.
But then later, when I have my team, I also make them follow my timings because I know how hard they work for me, and they actually do it pretty much the same how I would run my cafe or how I was doing it.
Awesome. It's so wonderful to have, the same like minded people that you would wish to.
Yes, it's very important. But I also realized in that time that 3-4 years of living here, working with whatever I love the most, I forgot where I was.
Hmm.
I would stop looking at the mountains around, the trees, the sky, the sun, the moon. So I needed that break. Then I also decided to get one day off in a week so that I could get all of that. Like I really like when people then when they are working, they give their 200%. but then they
Yeah.
also rest out well and they are refreshed with their brains, their heart to work again.
Let's get to my favorite question. How do you make such amazing pizzas? I've been to Dharamkot only once, and even after getting back to Mumbai, I really can't help but think of the amazing flavor your pizzas had.
Okay, I'll tell you. So I personally love pizzas the most in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like any mood, the first thing that comes to my head is a pizza. Like whenever my parents would leave me alone in my house in Delhi, me and my dog Oreo, we would order
Mm-hmm.
pizza, like a big pizza, and we'll both
Mm-hmm.
share and eat a pizza every time they would go out.
Oh man.
So here I came. The food in McLaughlin's is in general great,
Uh-huh.
but uh, so what happened is when I started the cafe, I was alone, and then people give tips. Initially, I didn't understand. I was like, "It's okay, yaar, I don't need tips. I'm fine. Like you just take the cookie, pay for that, and leave." But then, okay, slowly, 10, 10, 10, karke, after 5, 6 months, I had a tip box full of 800, 6 to 800 rupees.
Okay.
And I was so happy, like, oh my God, this is suddenly like some extra tip money I have.
Mm-hmm.
What I did was me and my husband now, but then
Mm-hmm.
he was my boyfriend. He's Ashish. So we both ordered a pizza from some very famous cafe here
Okay.
from that tip money. And we were so disappointed.
Oh man.
I was like, oh no, I can't spend my money like this on this. Then what we did was the next money that we collected off tip, we bought cheese and ingredients
Mm-hmm.
and we were like, we'll make our own pizza. We have our cafe, we are never going out now. And then I started making the pizza. And at that time, I also discovered the world of cheeses.
Hmm.
Before that, I did not like cheese too much in my life. For me, cheese was Domino's or Pizza Hut would serve. They were
Yeah.
good at that day times, but then
Yeah.
I don't know, they were not there. There was no feel to it. And the cheeses they use, the cheese burst and everything, like I would never eat it. So I explored good cheese here in McLeodganj.
Okay.
Through people, through friends, through some guests who came and tourists. But then when I started tasting different types of cheeses, my mind just blew. I was like, what is this?
Hmm.
And then we created our own dough and the sauce. Like till so, I have a thing like whenever I bake a cake or anything else, like I don't know how, but I do have this nice sense of taste.
Wow.
I think which comes from my mother and grandma.
Mm-hmm.
They both have like magical hands.
Wow.
Whenever like I have had food from them, that is I think what I have,
Hmm.
and I'm just using that in some other direction from where they are. So we created pizzas, and then we started applying our own sauce and cheeses that I explored.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have a friend who's a chef who gave me a great tip about some more things that we put on a pizza. It's called tapenade and chili oil. So it's just like everything together. It was so great that I made that pizza for I think 2 years for every now and then for us.
Okay.
And even if my friends come, I would never sell it at my shop.
Okay.
There were so many people always crossing and smelling the pizza, and then like, okay, let's do it. Can you please sell it? I'm like, no, I'm not selling. It's just for us. For a year and a half, like we just kept enjoying it and keeping it to ourselves.
Hmm.
But until one day, a friend of mine who came from Slovakia
Mm-hmm.
with her boyfriend and they tasted. That couple helped me set up my bakery when initially we were setting it up.
Mm-hmm.
So she was that one person who would actually bring out all the equipments that I keep hiding and not using. She's like, you have everything, you should use them, do it. And then so I made her taste my pizza. Without telling me, she made a poster and put it everywhere in Dharamkot that we are going to have a pizza day. And I was like, what are you doing? So they were like, it's okay. Even if it is a fail, we get to eat all the pizzas. And I said, that's true. Okay, let's try. And we did, and it was a great hit.
Wow.
Oh
I'm
my
sure.
God.
Thank God to your friend.
Yeah, I thank her for a lot of things, like a lot of things.
Awesome.
Her name is Denisa, and she's the most like open-hearted and creative person I've ever met in life.
Wow.
So they just put a poster out and everything, and then it was a fun pizza night at the cakery. And then we made it a thing. Like then every Saturday we have pizza days. Initially, I used to make it with yeast,
Mhm.
but then a year later, I learned sourdough baking.
Okay.
So I started making sourdough breads and other things with it. So I also changed my pizza dough from the yeasted thing to sourdough, which is actually, I feel, the best thing I've come across because
Yeah, the
sourdough,
flavor is amazing with that.
yes, and it is healthy. You can eat maida and it is still healthy. It breaks down in your body. The gluten, it never like sticks there. Like as
Okay.
a kid growing up, our parents always told us not to have too much bread because it doesn't gets digested.
Yeah.
But then the sourdough thing, because it's naturally and slowly fermented,
Mhm.
the gluten breaks down there and you can easily digest the maida that you have.
Okay.
So I was like, my mind got flipped. I can now enjoy breads unlimited and pizzas. Wow. So that's how my pizza story started.
Even your pastries were brilliant, yeah. I must say I'm not actually too much of a pastry fan, but Birdhouse Cakery had some amazing ones. How do you go about making these?
This is what I started initially with. So cakes and pastries were my thing. And I always like cookies and cakes. Whenever I would go out with my parents, I would find a nice bakery around and I would just sneak in there and get a muffin or a cake and come back and very happy like I got one. So what actually inspired me to bake cakes at home also was my mother's aunt. So she used to bake two simple chocolate and vanilla cakes at her home and she would always get us cakes.
Okay.
And she was the only person from where I had homemade cakes. And they were so much better than whatever we would get outside because the cakes outside were always too sweet, too creamy. There were some great pastries also that I came across, but later when I grew up and I explored the world more. But as kids, like she was my baker, so I started with her recipes first. Then I started looking up some videos and recipes, and then I always made a note of them in my diary, and I wanted to try them. So whatever I would like to eat myself, that is what I started baking first, which goes with the cookies, then few dark chocolate and carrot cake
Hmm.
or cheesecakes. I developed a taste for cheesecakes later, and then I also started making cheesecakes. The thing about them was like I always created, I was always on it when I was doing it, and I would always feed people for free also to give me feedback, like genuine feedback. So that's how I started creating cakes, and I would go very less with the icing part and the frostings because those were the things that would make the cake too sweet.
Yeah.
But then I somehow the baking I do, I try to control the sugar
Hmm.
in that so that they are not very sweet
Yeah.
and you get the flavors that we are putting in a cake.
All that pastry talk has really made my cravings go up a mile high. Now that you've been running a cafe here for a few years,
Hmm.
and have been observing tourists for a good amount of period, what's your personal opinion on, ecological tourism and what role do tourists play? Any ideas or tips that you would want to share?
Mm, a lot of tourists are careful these days while traveling in terms of, littering around. They like some are not.
Yeah.
But then I feel that majority of the people coming, they are aware of it. It's not that they are not.
Hmm.
And they're getting more aware of it because the climate changes and everything they are showing to them as well. If there is that, there is also the other things that a lot of cars are coming up. People are like, there are other sides of the people also who doesn't care. There is a lot of trash that is growing.
Yeah.
If they are a little more educated on the subject of how to travel and how they can, be a little more ecological about it, like if they book a room, getting example, like if they want new towels every day. They know how much like it causes trouble to the nature. They need to be washed and
Yeah.
there's a lot of soap. But if you are there in one room for say 3 days, you can possibly use the same towel that you're given at the
Exactly.
first
You can
point.
just put it out in the sun.
Yes, but no,
Yeah.
people don't like that. They want every day the bed sheets to be changed. There are some other requests also, but then on the other hand, we do get extremely nice and careful guests also
Hmm.
who take care of these things and extra things around them. They don't leave their lights on whenever they're going in out. They eat like that. They don't waste food.
Yeah.
At the cafe also, like 95% of my guests, they do not waste food. They actually either take it away or they don't order that much. But then I do get that 5% of crowd as well where
Yeah.
people do waste food. It's just like a matter of small things.
Yeah.
So at the cafe, how we practice this is like we try to go minimal with our waste.
Yeah.
What we do is after the milk is over, we cut them, we wash them,
Okay.
and we use it for packing and giving away,
Oh, like a
takeaways,
takeaway box.
like a
Oh,
takeaway box. So 80% of my customers, they really appreciate it, and what they do is they bring back those boxes so that we can use them again.
that's a fantastic initiative.
Yeah, man, like because if I was not using that, I will be going out buying more boxes, then it will be more trash in the bin.
Yeah.
And I really don't like that. I reuse most of the boxes like olive, jalapeno, Nutella, like what. So me, my husband, my brother, a lot of my friends, they have properties and now they are also setting up their houses. So I keep giving them cartons of boxes like these
Hmm.
boxes. My takeaway coffee and everything also I do that. Like try to pack in that. We keep it washed nicely, and they can just use it for the masalas and anything in the house. You don't need to go out buying more boxes. So people are doing that and appreciating it, which is really nice. People while traveling, they do take care of, traveling light and exchanging clothes. And these are very small things. Like instead of taking a taxi, if you can walk, they do prefer walking.
Hmm.
It's just about not just awareness or education, they are educated about it or their situation. Like maybe whatever they're coming from, they want to relax, they want to just like, burst it out. People do come to the mountains to just come drink and
Yeah.
like make a lot of noise. There are people walking with speakers every day in the season. You
Yeah.
have,
Yeah.
but there are some people, if you tell them nicely, they do make it like, they do not do it. They like they appreciate being told that, oh, we didn't realize.
Hmm.
People, they can, they are. There are good tourists, there are good times. It's just that if they are in the right frame of mind, they do understand that and they are doing things what they can. I just
Hmm.
like trying to look at the positive side of everything. There are negatives to everything.
Hmm.
But I think if we talk much more about positive, the negatives might also turn into, the positive direction.
Very well said, Anukriti. Super. So, if not a baker, what would you have chosen as a profession?
Oh, I don't know that. I was trying a lot of things. I was good at painting and other stuff, but it was a difficult road for me. Like I was very confused and lost in what I was doing and where I was going.
Hmm.
So baking is also not what I like came looking for. It happened for me, and I found that I really love it.
Hmm.
I have tried taking an art course also. I like all of that, but I don't love them.
Okay.
Like all the other things, they are my hobby. This is my passion. And I don't think I would have been doing anything else other than this.
Any advice for people who want to move away from the city to a remote mountain village?
It's very nice. Of course, the like change in your lifestyle and your surroundings, you'll definitely get a better health and everything here.
Hmm.
But like don't ruin the peace and the nature.
Yeah.
Just nurture it more and let it be more greener.
Yeah.
Help in that. And spread happiness. It's I think the most beautiful thing.
Anukriti, could you tell us any fun, memorable incident that you would have experienced? Any incident in your life?
So one time,
Uh huh.
me, my husband, and some friends and my dog, we
Okay.
were going to the waterfall at Gallu.
Okay.
And somehow, while crossing the water path,
Uh-huh.
we slipped my dog, Oreo,
Oh.
and he actually slipped down to, steps, and he was down, and then we were really shit scared. But then there were a lot of people. He was fine. We got him out, and then on the way back, my friend was he was like, I really admire dogs. How they, whatever you do to them, they still
Hmm.
trust you, love you, and they walk with you.
Yeah.
That minute, my dog ran away and he hid in the jungle.
It's like he understood what he
I
felt.
don't know how. And we were four adults. None of us could see him. There was not even a patta moving.
Oh.
For 15 minutes, my heart was pounding. I was like, where is he? And I was like, why is he doing this with us? And then somehow one of my friend, he, noticed where he was. So we thought that
Yeah.
he got stuck, and my husband just went down the cliff and went there, and like he was hanging on the tree with the leash,
Oh.
and he just touched him. He got up, moved, and my husband was hanging there, and he bhai sahab on the road and came, and I was like, ये किस बात का बदला ले रहा है हमसे? And then he just
Awesome.
came, and like somehow they just do take maza from you, and
Your friend, when you mentioned, "Arey, I really like how dogs when they trust you," and he's like, "Oh,
yeah,
रुक अभी मजा
and he just
चखाता हूँ
messed
तुझे."
with us.
Awesome, awesome. So, Anukriti, like the poster in your cafe says, the secret ingredient is love.
And I think just spreading love in food and everything around helps you.
Indeed, it truly does. Thank you so much, Anukriti, for being a part of this conversation.
You're welcome, Anand. Thank you so much for giving me a chance to do this.
Thank you so much, and I wish you and your team the best.
Thank you so much.
You just heard A Day in Your Life, an Offspin original, created and produced by Anant Krishnan. This show is live and available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, Amazon Music, Savan, Ghana, Wink, and every other place we thought hosted podcasts. Give the Offspin team a like, maybe a subscribe on their Instagram page, and be in touch. We love hearing from you. Keep listening to content from Offspin Media Friends, and keep glistening.
The opinions expressed in this show are personal to the guests and the host and do not necessarily represent the opinions of the producer or the platform. This show does not intend to defame and denigrate any individual or organization in India or outside. The show is created for entertainment purposes only. It does not encourage smoking, drinking, or any kind of substance use. It may contain the use of harsh language that may be considered offensive, rude, or profane by the listeners. It may also contain incidents that mention or describe mental health issues, casteism, suicide, and violence. Listeners are advised to